Hey everybody, Chris Truder here, leading communications expert and business coach for Japan. How are you all doing today? Did you survive the typhoon Sunday night? Big, huge typhoon came through Tokyo, Chiba area, and wow, lots of damage. Most people seem to be okay. But the crazy thing is, yesterday, Monday, people still went to work, even though most of the trains and subways were either not working or delayed. So people took 4 to 5 hours just to get to work. It was crazy. So my question is, why did people go to work? Ah, crazy. So my kids were out of school. School was canceled. Um, you know, I guess you can't cancel the day for work, but you can work from home. You can stay home. I'm just so surprised people wasted so much time that companies allowed their employees to waste for half their day on the train doing nothing, just getting to work, which just increases stress and not much can really get done, which brings me to my topic today, getting things done. So I want to introduce you to this new book, new gem I just found, but it's been around a while. Getting Things Done, The Art of Stress-Free Productivity by David Allen. So how did I find out about this book? I've heard of it. This is a brand new edition from 2015 because he originally wrote it, I believe, in the 90s, and he does coaching, corporate training, and a lot of companies have used his techniques to increase productivity in the companies. But of course, over the last 20 years, with the advancements in technology that's supposed to make our lives less stressful, is actually had a reverse effect. It's made us more stressful, with email. Well, email came in the 90s, but with so many different tools keeping us connected to the internet and having access to information 24/7 has caused our brains to explode and has caused a lot of stress. So he updated everything from 2015 to talk about modern technology and tools we can use to be more productive and less stressed. Now, I found out about him through Tim Ferriss. You may heard of Tim Ferriss. He wrote the book, I think it came out in 2006, 2007, The 4-Hour Work Week, which is very similar to this concept, getting things done with less stress. So David Allen was on a podcast, Tim Ferriss, that I listened to over the weekend. I was just so blown away by it. I bought the Kindle book. And I've started reading it. I started reading it yesterday, and basically the premise is that David Allen talks about that our office is not physical, but we tend to use our brains as our office. So everything that we need to do, our to-do lists, the emails I need to send, I gotta go pick up the laundry, all these things we store in our brain, and it just causes us stress because our brain, uh, basically we can only concentrate on a couple things at a time. And if we have, 10, 20 things in our brain constantly reminding us of things we need to do, this can cause stress and even insomnia. Some people have a hard time sleeping because they're always thinking about what needs to be done. I know this affects me. I don't suffer from insomnia, but I always go to bed thinking about, what needs to get done. Especially if I have a bunch of things to do the next day, it's hard for me to turn that off. I'm always thinking about what I need to do, and then when I get up in the morning, boom, I just start doing it. But what happens is there's so much to do, at least that's how I feel. I become overwhelmed, and and I've always had trouble organizing things. Not so much in my brain, but physically organizing things. And so then that, I've always prided myself of, I can keep track of everything in my brain. Well, it causes stress, and sometimes I forget things. Sometimes I forget to call customers, and this is all bad for business. So basically what David Allen says is we got to get everything out of our brain. And he teaches us systems through basically notifications and reminders of doing the things that need to get done. And he said the problem with making a list of things is that we don't have a strategy behind a list. We just make a list of things to do. And this may work for a couple of weeks. This is definitely, in my case, you know, in January, I got a Franklin Covey planner. I was doing this faithfully for a couple months, and then I stopped doing it because I was just, you know, I went back to my old ways, not writing things down, just keeping track in my head of what needs to get done. So David Allen says, he goes, step one, and before I share step one with you, this is an introduction. I want to spend the next couple days, episodes, introducing you to this book as I read it and apply these things in my life, and that way I can share with you my progress. But the first thing he says is the step one is what he calls capture. So he says, basically, do you have an in tray, a physical in tray for example, mail or things that need to get done, right? So you get mail, you put it in an in tray. And honestly, I don't have an in tray, but I do have a place where I put my mail. I do have a place where I put my receipts. I do have a place where I put my notebooks. But he says, make a list of all your in trays, physical and digital, basically capturing. How do you capture information? Not how do you organize information, but how do you capture information? So make a list of all the things that you use to store information as it comes to you as input. So I made a list, and wow, was this an eye-opener. It was like a doctor diagnosing a disease. Here's my list, and I'm sure it's not finished. I have 33 in trays, basically. So example, I have my wallet, which I put my receipts in. I have a tray, which I take the receipts out of my wallet and put it in the tray for later. I have a place where I put my physical mail. I have 5 different emails. I have a voice recorder. I have physical notebooks, my Covey planner, my backpack, my desktop, my laptop, my thumb drive, iCloud, Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, my Google Calendar, voicemails, text, Facebook Messenger, Line, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook Pages, Facebook General, and LinkedIn. All these are inputs of information, messaging. And so this was a huge eye-opener. Now, my next step is not to organize the inboxes. He says that's the mistake we make. He says step one is just to capture all the information, figure out where it is, and then with each piece of information, make an action plan. What is the next thing you're going to do with that information? And he has a little flow chart, you know, things that you can immediately respond to, things that you can throw away, for example, things that you can defer. But he gives a very systematic way of organizing all this information that we come in. So again, but organizing, he says, you don't organize information, you organize your actions, okay? So he says you cannot organize inputs, you can only capture it. We organize the actions. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. And what I can challenge you with is what he challenged me with is he said, take one thing that you need to get done, you know, whether it be a project or something that you need to get done today, and write it what it is in one sentence, what it is, and then he said, make an action based on the result that you want with what you need to get done. It's just do that, start with that, and I'll leave that with you. So for your homework, take one thing that needs to get done and write out the action for that thing with the desired outcome. What is the next thing you need to do? Okay. And so for me, one thing that I was working on yesterday that I actually got done, I was so excited. I have a textbook that I'm trying to get published on Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing. And I was stuck in the process because the format of my book, of my manuscript, didn't fit within the standards of the Amazon standards, right? And, it's a PDF, and then PDFs are hard, difficult to format. And anyway, this was taking forever. And I basically had put this on the shelf, and I wasn't doing it because I didn't know how to fix it. So I wrote down, get this done today. This was yesterday. And the next action step is really simple: reformat the manuscript so that I can upload it to Amazon for their direct publishing. And that's what I did. It took a couple hours because I got the manuscript reformatted, it worked, and then the cover was off because the cover, again, is double. It's front and back. It's one document. And no matter how many times I uploaded it, I couldn't get it to be the right dimensions that Amazon wanted. So I had to play with it, figured it out, but I figured it out again. So that one simple process of, okay, I'm gonna do this today, and what is it specifically I need to do? Reformat it, because that's all I needed to do. Once I got reformatted, and I just followed the instructions on Amazon, save, hit next, continue. Do you want to publish? Boom, publish, boom. Got an ISBN. Amazon puts the barcode on it, and now it's under review. It says it takes up to 72 hours. So now I'm just waiting. I'm done with it. I don't have to think about it anymore. And that goes back to David Allen's How to Get Things Done, was basically by organizing, capturing everything, and then organizing your actions for those things you need to get done. You're removing all that information from your head. You're clearing up your head to be more productive and do the things that you enjoy. So anyway, well, a little longer than usual today, but I'm excited about this. I'm excited about learning and applying this techniques to me, and then sharing my progress with you. So anyway, hey, tonight, I'm be speaking at the Pink Cow Connection. It's a meetup of business entrepreneurs. I'm speaking, another lady speaking on NLP. It's called the Pink Cow. It's a little Mexican food restaurant in Akasaka. So tonight, 7 p.m. Hope to see you there. Take care and be safe out there. Sayonara.